Very good. Well, thank you so much for having me here and for hosting the event, as well as Lockheed Martin and the National Cybersecurity Alliance, Tech America. Needless to say, the Department of Homeland Security is delighted that we are into our 7th year of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Fund. We are extraordinarily focused, and I think since my arrival here, certainly I have seen an incredible amount of effort that goes into cybersecurity on a regular basis. And I think in the dozen or so years, a little more than that at this point, that I've been in this space, we've seen the environment change considerably. And a dozen years ago, we used to talk about the fact that the net was so enhancing efficiency and capabilities. But what we meant at a dozen years ago was that it made it easier for us to do the things that we were doing already, whether it was our word processing or our number crunching or various other pieces of the puzzle, and how difficult it would be if we didn't have the capabilities that the computers and network solutions that we had and were coming online, if they were interrupted in some way, made unavailable to us. And what I realized in thinking about today and this 7th month focusing on cybersecurity is that it is no longer just about the efficiencies that we get in communications or the efficiencies that we get in being able to bring collaboration together or those various other pieces of the puzzle. Because for anyone under 30, it's not a question of, well, we have to go back to doing things the old way if these capabilities were interrupted. For many, this is the way things have always been, and there is no going back to another way of getting things done. And so when you have a conversation with a young person about a show not being on, they don't understand what you're talking about. Shows are always on. When you talk to people about collaboration, those of us who are approaching 50 are thinking about being able to do simulcast or communications among many people with video over the net. And young people are focused on the fact that their communications are over LinkedIn and over Facebook and over other media that simply don't have an analog. And so as a consequence, when we think about how ingrained and involved we are with the technology that has come to underpin so much of what we do, we have to keep in mind that for a whole generation of folks who are entering the workforce and becoming engaged and involved with us in many other ways, this is the only way that they have done things. They haven't engaged with paper maps. They haven't worked things through in the old way. And it would be, in many ways, like telling us to go back and use the abacus if we don't have the calculator available. And so with that in mind, and all of the interconnections that are being created on a daily basis, the way our critical infrastructures are using this technology to make things more efficient and effective, very quickly all of those connections become not just important to efficiency, but mission critical to execution. And we have to keep that in mind as we go forward. So the Department of Homeland Security, working in partnership with many public and private entities in government, state, local, and tribal, in the private sector, in academia, is working very diligently to enhance our capabilities from a cybersecurity perspective. And we have been doing that through things like the National Cyber Incident Response Plan, the build-out of the National Cybersecurity and Communications Integration Center at DHS, the testing of those plans and capabilities through Cyberstorm 3, national level exercise to really put everything through its paces along with our partners across the entire ecosystem. We've done things like develop the industrial control security capabilities that really allow us to work with our industry partners as they deploy more capability and technology with training for thousands who are working in the industrial control space, attack and penetration testing, vulnerability scans, flyaway teams that can come and assist when events are ongoing. There's a range of capabilities that have been brought to bear just since we last talked about Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And so as we move forward, the focus and energy and attention has to be there, but not just for government and not certainly just for the Department of Homeland Security, but across the entire ecosystem, right down to each and every individual that's using the technology to get any job done. And that's what Cybersecurity Awareness Month really is about. It's about taking this discussion to a broader audience and ensuring that everyone really has a sense of what their role is in order to make our environment more secure and resilient and capable to carry on the American way of life. So with that, I'll pass the mic along to Mr. Painter, and I thank you for being here today and for the